right, what's going on, everybody? This is Mike. Let me make sure that I am sounding okay here. Give me un segundo. Okay. Now let me share. Give me like 2 seconds here. I am almost ready. Hey, April, what's going on? What's good? So, I am coming to you on this amazing Black Friday morning because I wanted to share something really simple that I think you all can do. And I'm primarily speaking to business owners, consultants, coaches, not advertisers, advisors, freelancers. If you're a freelancer and you're looking to do some advertising, normally what I've seen is a lot of people they won't advertise if they don't have the money. And so I'd like to provide you with a very simple solution. All right. And I would also like to provide you with a different perspective on what the issue or the challenge is as it pertains to creating that budget or creating that ability for you to actually advertise. Because it's not that you don't have the money. It's not about not having the money. Okay. That's not how you should think as a business owner. It is more so about where that money is going to take you. Okay. So I'm going to start this off by saying this. Okay. So all of you, anybody that's listening to this live has absolutely no problem spending money on certain things. And one of the things that you spend money on that you do not question is the gas that you put in your car. All right. Now think about this. Okay. Whoever has a car on this live, if you have a vehicle, okay, you pull into a gas station and sometimes you don't even look at the price. Sometimes you don't even look at the price. You take the nozzle and you start filling up your tank. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. You start filling up your tank and you have no problem filling up your tank or paying for it. The reason you pay for it is because you know that the distance that car is going to take you or where that car is taking you is worth the input to the car. So if you are spending $20 or $30 to fill up your car, the value of you being able to get to your point B far exceeds the cost for the gas. The other reason you don't have any problem putting money into gas is because you know that the car in itself is going to be consistent in taking you a certain distance for every dollar you put in. So every car that you buy out there, it's going to tell you, oh, well, it is 20 miles per gallon or it is 30 miles per gallon. So now in your head, if I travel 30 miles, let's say gas prices are $2 right now, it is $2 to take me 30 miles. Right? So now in your head, you have a correlation between money spent and a distance, right? That's the reason why you have no problem. The issue with ads, or the issue that most business owners have with ads is they have no clue what distance the ads are going to take them. That is the problem to solve, okay? And there's a couple ways around it, but that's the problem to solve. Once that problem is solved, you now have you have no limit to the amount of money that you can find and have and use for advertising. So I'm gonna talk to you about that, right? So this is all about what you should do if what you should do in the event that you don't have money for ads, all right? So I am going to give me 1 second. Yes, it's hard to track how effective ads are. Well, I mean, it's not always very difficult. I think one of the first things. So one of the first things that you need to do as a business is sort of know what your you need to know uh, what your output is. Okay, so you need to be able to say, hey, um, give me 1 second. I'm making this little sheet here. You need to be able to know what you're selling and how you are how that's correlated with what inputs you probably have. All right. So, all right. So I want to show you this sheet here. Um, so this sheet, very simplified sheet, and if you can still let me just put myself here so you can still see me. Oh my gosh! So my mustache sometimes like curls back up and it's tickling my nose. Sorry about that. All right. So this is not a full company budget sheet or anything like that. This is very high level, very high level. I'm just calculating you having products or you having services and you saying, hey, you know what? I have the capacity to execute a certain number of orders, and there's a cost to doing it. All right. So let's jump into that really fast, okay? And I'm gonna focus. Let's focus up here first, okay? So I'm gonna fill this with like a little green, and I'm gonna fill this with a little red. Red is not bad. Okay? Red is not bad. So let's talk about this for a second. So let's say you have a product, okay? Let's say you have a product, and the price of the product. Let's just say the price of the product is $50, okay? You have something priced at $50 and you have something else priced at $150, okay? I don't know what you're selling. I don't know what you're selling. I don't know what it is. I am just throwing out some numbers here, okay? I'm just throwing out some numbers here. So let's hypothetically say that on a weekly basis, you want to be able to sell 25 of product 1 and 25 of product 2. Actually, you know what? Let me add a column here. I'm going to add a column here, and I'm actually going to call this daily, okay? I'm just going to call this daily. And instead of this being just a number, I'm going to do this. I'm going to multiply this by 7, okay? So let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about this. Every day, and you know what? I'm just gonna make these numbers more smaller because when it comes to creating like feasibility, when it comes to like showcasing feasibility, I feel like creating smaller numbers makes things a little bit better, right? So you have a $50 product and you have a $150 product, okay? On a daily basis, you have the ability to sell 4 of the $50 product and 4 of the $150 product, okay? Now, what that equates to, if you were to do that throughout the entire week, that equates to 28 units that you sold on a weekly basis for each product. What that equates on a monthly basis is 112. In terms of revenue, okay, all I'm doing is multiplying this out, okay? So I'm taking 112 times the price, okay? 112 times the price. So that's all I'm doing, okay? So what that equates to in revenue is $5,600 in revenue for the month. On an annual basis, for that one product, that equates to $67,000 in revenue. Let's take product 2. Product 2 is $150. I'm multiplying it out. That's going to equate to $201,000 in annual revenue. Okay? Now, Let's say this, okay? I wanna pause for a second and I wanna say this. Let's hypothetically say that right now, okay? And I'm gonna take these two numbers. I'm gonna take these two numbers and I'm just gonna put it over here. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take these two numbers. So this is 67 200 and 201 600. Okay. I'm gonna take these two numbers and I'm just gonna add this up. All right. Oh, come on. Sum of these two numbers. So that equates to $268,000 for the year. Okay. Now let's say right now you're only able to sell one of each of these. Okay. So right now, this moment, you are only able to sell one of these products per day because you do not want to spend money on ads. You do not want to spend money on ads. You just want to do everything fully organic. Okay? Everything organic. If you do everything organic, what that equates to is a sum of 67 200. That is these two numbers here. You're seeing it down here, okay? 67,200, okay? So think about this, all right? Think about this. If you run ads, you have the potential to make $268,000 in revenue. If you do not run ads in your current position, you have the ability to just generate 67,000. Now, here's the kicker, okay? If you create a mechanism where you're able to make an extra $201,000 in ads, the goal is for you to spend far less than $201,000 on ads for the year. Are you following me? If you're following me, drop a 1 in the comments. If you're following me, drop a 1 in the comments. I just want to make sure that you guys are actually following, because I feel like when it comes to numbers, sometimes people start getting, it's like, oh my God, what the hell is he talking about? Like, oh my God, I kind of lost him. All right. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're still following me. What I am telling you here is if you run ads, hypothetically speaking, if you run ads and you are confident that you can make four sales a day, right? That's going to equate to approximately it's 268,000, right? 268,000 based off of these prices. Right now, organically, you're doing one a day and you're only making 67,200, okay? And the reason that these numbers line up so well is because 150 is a factor of 50. So if I were to add this up, it's a total price of 200. And if I were to I'm quartering the daily sales. So since I'm quartering it, it's essentially like I'm quartering the price of the total, amount of products. So that's why it lines up this way. Okay. But you're making a quarter of the money because you want to do it organically. All right. Now let's talk about expenses. If you were to advertise, let's say you were to advertise and you were to spend $1,000 and you were to spend $1,000 per month on ads. Actually, you know what? No. Let's just say 500. Let's just say 500 because I know once I start putting out comments in these expenses, people start going crazy. Now, let's say your cost of goods sold or cost to render services, your cost of goods sold, let's say that is $500 a month. Okay, so your expenses on all your software, your products, not products, the stuff to actually sell, those expenses add up to $500. Actually, let's just call this overhead. I'm gonna call this operational overhead, right? So that is $500. Okay, so if I were to, so mind you, check this out, okay? Check this out. Right now, and I'm not even factoring in taxes, right? Right now, $50 product, $150 product, or one sold a day, you're making 67,200, right? Minus the I'm sorry, you're not doing ads yet. Sorry. Let's take this out. minus the overhead, the operational overhead. You still have to spend the money to do this stuff, right? It's $500 a month, okay? That is $6,000. So you take your gross is going to be 67,000, and then now you're taking away the $6,000. So now at the end of the year, you made $61,000. Okay? You made 61,200 if you don't run ads and you do everything organically. Okay? Boom. All right? That is how a lot of people are doing it. Okay. Again, if this makes sense, just keep dropping a one and drop any comments, or questions in the chat. I'd love to. I'll address it. Actually, really quick, let me make sure that I am not getting comments inside of these other groups, because I know I tend to do that as well. Like I'll drop this in here, and then all of a sudden, okay, perfect, I'm not. All right, so now let's talk about ads, all right? Let's say that on a monthly basis, you're spending about $500 in ads, okay? No. Let's just say $750 in ads, and that provides you with the ability to 4x or increase by a factor of 3 how many units you can sell on a daily basis, all right? So now you're at $268,000, $268,800 a year in revenue. And let's say that your operational overhead, because you 4x'd it, let's say it's $1,000. Okay, I'm upping this stuff just to make a point. All right, just to make a point. So your advertising, you're now spending $750, but you're confident that you can make 3 more sales on top of what you were currently doing a day. Okay. A day. If you want me to make it 3, I don't care. I'll make it 3. I'll make it conservative. You're spending $750 to make 2 more sales of these products on a daily basis. Okay? 2 more sales. What that equates to is 50, 400, 151, 200. So now you're on a yearly basis, you're generating $201,000 a year. Okay? Now, that's your gross. You subtract the fact that your overhead went up, and you also subtract the fact that your advertising, you're now spending money on ads. Okay. Now, your gross is 201. Your net is 180,000. Okay. Your net is 180,000. So I'm going to write down here, you made 180,000, 180,600 if you run ads using your own money. Okay? You're using your own money here. All right? In your mind now, you need to say, hey, you need to be able to say, hey, like, I need to find $750. But here's the kicker, right? Many people don't want to spend that. They think that $750 is a bill because they haven't created that formula, all right? So I'm going to make the presumption you do not want to spend money, okay? You don't want to spend any money. I would like to propose that you set up net revenue share agreements with net revenue share agreements with people that do want to spend $750 on their advertising. All right. So let's now hear me out. Okay. Hear me out. Now, in the event that you have someone that takes on the expense of the advertising, okay? They take on the expense of the advertising. What is going to happen now is you now shift the liability a little bit. You shift the liability a little bit from you spending $750 and you thinking, hey, well, what if I don't make 3 sales a day? You're going to shift it from that to, hey, I'm going to enter into an agreement with someone who's going to provide me with the 750, but now I have to make it worth their while. Now, let me pause and let me tell you this for a brief moment. If you're going to tell me, that there's not people out there that are willing to give the money to fund advertising budgets, I'm going to blatantly tell, I'm with utmost conviction, you're a naive business owner, okay? Naive. We need to have a discussion about why that naivete is there. We need to get rid of that, okay? There is no business. There's no business out there. No business out there. Successful businesses. There are no successful businesses out there that think that way. None. Zero, okay? We need to get that poison out of your mind, because any company, you think of a company's name, they sat there and they got something called investors. I am not calling this an investment. What I am calling this is net revenue share agreements. You're not giving away a piece of your business. You're not giving away equitable stake in your company. You're not writing people into your partnership agreements. You're not doing that. All you're doing is you're establishing an agreement with someone to say, hey, if you fuel this tank, my confidence in being able to fulfill a certain number of orders is going to be here, and we're going to share in the net revenue. I'm calling it net revenue because net revenue is also known as your profits, okay? So we're not considering the fact that you still have to take on the expense of the operational expenses. You still have to take on that stuff, right? But you are saying, because you are giving me $750 a month, and I'm going to do this. Let me calculate this real quick, right? Because, and I'm going to use the same lines, right? Because you are giving me $750 a month, right? I'm going from one unit per day to 3. So let's just see what it looks like. 3 units minus 1 unit is 2 units. I am going to make an extra in revenue. I'm going to make an extra $134,000 a year. I'm going to make an extra $134,000 a year because you're giving me 9. Okay? Listen to me, business owners. You are going to make an extra $134,000 a year because somebody is willing to give you 9. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? If it makes sense, drop a 1 in the comments. Please, please, please. Drop a 1 in the comments and drop questions. Let me know if this stuff, let me know if everything is making sense here, okay? So, and I'm gonna just keep going because I know am I at 30 minutes yet? No, I'm not even at 30 minutes yet. I'm hoping you guys are getting some value out of this. If you're getting value, then drop a 2 in the comments. All right, so you are making, again, I'm gonna revisit this, okay? Daily units sold. We're confident we can get 3 units sold because we are advertising, okay? If we don't advertise, we're just doing 1. So that's a difference of 2. A difference of 2 equates to an extra $134,400 a year. The estimated advertising expense is $750 a month, which equates to $9,000 a year. Okay? So this is where it's going to get, this is where sometimes people say, oh, I don't like the numbers. I don't like. Okay, so if you spend your own money, you're going to be making $180,000 if you run ads using your own money. Let's say that within your net revenue share agreements, and mind you, you can customize this however you want, okay? However you want. Instead of you having the advertising expense, let's take this out. The person or the people who you are who you're doing these net revenue share agreements with, let's say you're willing to tell them, hey, if you spend $750, I'm willing to give you $2,000 in revenue share a month. Or you know what? Let's just make it $3,000. Let's make it $3,000. shoot, hold on. Let's make it $3,000. All right. So you're willing to give up. You're willing to give up. Well, actually, $3,000 is a lot. Let's do 25. No, you know what? Let's do $2,100. Okay. Don't give them too much. So instead of you spending $750 a month, you offload that risk and you let someone else cover the advertising, but you are telling them that after you make these sales, you're gonna write them a check for $2,100. Okay. Now here's the thing about now let me pause for a second and let you know. When it comes to revenue share agreements, what you're doing, you're entering into an agreement. You can't say, "Oh man, you gave me $750. I proved that I could do it. So now let me get rid of you." You cannot do that. You have to set up these revenue share agreements for a term, for 3 months, for 4 months, for 5 months, for 6 months, whatever it is. Because if someone says, "Hey, we're getting some traction here," they love those numbers. They're putting $750 in, and they're getting out $2,100. Someone who is doing that, think about this: 2,100. Someone who is doing that is making their own net profit of $1,300 a month, and they're doing that just because you have the ability. It's because you have the ability to generate the revenue. You have the products. You have the operational stuff. Okay? You have the operational stuff. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna up this to 25, just so this looks $2,500. They are making $1,700 off of you per month because they're giving you $750. Great deal. Now here's when it comes to you. When it comes to you, okay, you are giving away $2,500 now because you don't want to spend the money on ads. You're giving away $2,500 now. You have an overhead of $1,000. Now your net, I'm going to copy this again, okay? You made $159,600 if you run ads using other people's money. Okay? Does this make sense? If you do not run ads, okay, I'm going to revisit this. If you do not run ads, you're making 61 grand. If you run ads and you use your own money, you're making 180 grand. If you run ads and you use someone else's money, you're making 159 grand. One of the things that my hope is this. First and foremost, regardless of what path you take, it's beneficial. It's beneficial for you to invest in getting traffic to your stuff. All right. So if you pay, you're using your own money, or if you pay using other people's money, you should see that there is a benefit. That there's a benefit to running ads. Okay. First and foremost. Now the reason why this is critical too is because there's also another expense here that I didn't list. Okay. There's another expense here that I did not list. Okay. So mind you, in this exercise, what I did, all I'm doing is messing with the advertising numbers, and I gave you two options. You spend your own money, which is $750, or you do a net profit share, a net revenue share agreement with some people who believe in your business. They fund the ads and then they make a return, right? It's just like flipping. It's like buying houses. It's like buying real estate and then renting it out. You know, they're leveraging. They're creating leverage through your business. Okay. Okay. Now there's an expense that's on all of your balance sheets, and it's actually the biggest expense that all of you can have as business owners. And sometimes it's invisible, but you have to know it's there. Okay. We said this here. You're making, organically, you do your own stuff, you post, you can sell one a day. You could sell one a day, okay? That is going to equate to, that's going to equate to 67,200, okay? I'm going to write this down. 67,200, okay? With no ads, okay? If you run ads, you have the ability to sell 3 a day, and you are now at 201,600. Okay? If we don't do the net revenue share agreements and we don't run any ads, there's another expense here. I'm going to take this away, right? This is the greatest expense typically. All right? It is opportunity costs. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say $201,600 minus $67,200. And I'm going to divide this by 12, okay? And I'm going to bring this operational cost down to 500, okay? Listen to this, okay? Listen to this. And I'm also gonna bring this down to 1, okay? So hear me out here, and hear me out very well, okay? If you don't run ads, if you do not run ads, okay? If you do not run ads, what I am telling you right here is this. You have the capacity and the ability to render 3 products a day, or 3 of these units sold a day. You're not selling 2 of them. So you have an opportunity cost. You are costing yourself $11,000 a month. That is a cost that you have. You are losing you're losing out on the opportunity to generate $134,000 a year, okay? You don't have any net revenue share agreements, you're not paying for ads, and you have a lower operational overhead, okay? Your gross, you're still making the $67,200, but your true net is negative $73,200. Your business is bleeding. Your business is in the negative. This is red, okay? This is red. Your net is red because you are losing out on opportunity. There's a cost to opportunities and you're losing it. Every single month, you're losing $11,000 in revenue because you are not advertising or marketing your business or selling your products and services in the way that you should. The opportunity cost far exceeds the cost to do a partnership, a net revenue share agreement with somebody. The opportunity cost far exceeds you spending some of your own money to being able to run ads. You lost $73,200 okay? You made 61,000, and mind you, these two at the top are sort of related, okay? So let's just say you looked at something without the thought of opportunity cost. You made 61 grand if you don't run ads and you're just blind to the fact that you're losing out on opportunities. You made 180,000 if you run ads using your own money, and you made 159,000 if you run ads using other people's money. If you did nothing and you just kept running ads organically, or you kept doing things organically, and you did consider the opportunity cost, you're actually losing $73,000 every single year because you are not capitalizing on certain opportunities. Because you're only making 1 unit a day, and you're losing out on revenue every single month. Okay. My hope is that this stuff makes sense. I would like to. So what I do, what I'm doing with a lot of my with a lot of business owners is, I mean, one of the first things that I'm doing with a lot of business owners is just like educating them on just all of this stuff, you know, this stuff. I wish that there was like a one size fits all when it comes to this stuff, but there's not, you know. So sometimes what I do is I just like to have a discussion. I have a discussion. All right. So what I'm gonna do, okay, what I'm gonna do, I have no clue. I have no clue where you're at in your business. I have no clue where you're at in your business. I don't know what you sell. I mean, I'll find out. But I'd like to um, give me one second. Inside of the comments, I just dropped a link. I just dropped a link to have a discussion with you. If you are open to learning how to, and you want some support in selling more. Again, this is us having a brief conversation, 15-20 minutes. Me getting a gist for what it is that you do, what you're selling, what that deficit looks like, and we just have a chat, and then from there I'll let you. It one or two things are going to come out of this conversation. It could be, hey, what's going on? I think you should try doing this, or hey, you might need to do this, or try doing that. Or it might be, hey, like, well, this is what it would look like if you wanted to work together on doing certain things. I do not have a done for you business anymore. I am not doing stuff for people. I want to empower you and educate you so that you feel like, hey, I know what's happening. So when it comes to advertisements, I'm literally working with my clients on educating them on what's happening. When it comes to even creating websites, I'm working with them on educating them how to actually edit, modify, and do different things on their website without creating a cost for them. Like that, and what that means is, if it's stuff that they need to have a long learning curve with, I'm gonna say, hey, if it's worth it, then learn it. But if there's certain things that you can outsource, if that's worth it, then outsource it. All right. But I am doing stuff with my clients and not just for my clients, because I want to empower them so that they feel like they know what's happening in their business. All right. So if you would like to have a chat, my website is ihelpyousellmore.com/schedule. If you don't put the /schedule, it's still gonna send you over a form to me, but it's not gonna go on my calendar. Okay, it's not gonna take you to a calendar link. So if you go to ihelpyousellmore.com, you'll be able to fill out this brief questionnaire. I'll follow up with you, and then we could schedule something. But if you go to schedule, that's gonna go directly to my calendar, and then we could definitely carve out some time, again, 15-20 minutes, to have a discussion about your business and have a discussion about what you can do to make sense out of all this stuff. All right. So any questions before I hop off here? I'm at 37 minutes. I'm going to repost this, but I really want to make sure that this stuff makes sense. I want to make sure that this stuff makes sense to you guys. So any questions before I go? Dope. All right. Well, you guys have an amazing rest of the day. Have an amazing rest of the day. In the comments, drop any questions that you have, and I'll get to you as soon as possible. All right. Take care.